the beginning of this month, I was featured on a TV program where we were talking about January financial blues. And there was a caller that called in. It was a live call-in program. There was a caller that called in and was struggling with his employer in terms of the length of time his employer was taking him to pay him his salary. So his employers had taken apparently about 2 or 3 months, not paying him. So they hadn't paid him for about 2 or 3 months. And so he had called in and said, what is a person supposed to do in such a situation? What am I supposed to do if my employer is not paying me, my salary, and I can't even pay for my household needs and all of that? And this got me thinking. And after the program, I actually went and thought about this a little bit more, and I was wondering, why is it that our friends overseas, Europe or America, can hold more than one job? They don't depend entirely on one employer, and they can actually hold more than one job and make extra income to sustain their livelihoods. So why is it difficult for us here in Africa to do more than one thing so that we can sustain our livelihoods? And so today, this is what I want us to discuss, and I would really love to hear from you, after this program. How else can we increase our incomes and not just depend on that full-time job that we have? This is what I want us to discuss in today's video. For those that have subscribed, a million thank yous for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's at the bottom, it's down here. Click subscribe. So, a few beliefs and habits that are preventing us from making more money, even when we are really in dire need of this extra income. The first one is, the way we are educated, we are educated to be employees, right? And we love our jobs, especially if you are employed at a prestigious company, a financial institution, a government, NGO or development sector. You see, when you hold a job in these key industries, you are comfortable, right? You are comfortable, and even if you are just a bank teller, and bank telling is a pretty good job, right? Especially at the beginning, if you're just young and starting out. But then, even if you are that and you just make a little money, right? You are so happy, and you knock off. You actually work from 8 to 17, and once you knock off, you relax and you chill, and life goes on, right? But then at the month end, you find that your money is not even able to sustain you for the rest of the month. And if you are unfortunate, you don't have a prestigious job such as I've described, you just maybe are a manual laborer, and your life depends on this job. And then unfortunately, you find an employer who even extends the months, does not pay you within the agreed 30 days and extends maybe 60 and 90 more days, and that can be stressful, right? But then what I've discovered is majority of us love our jobs and we're really comfortable being employed, and we can't even think about doing anything extra. But recently, I've actually started seeing a change. A lot more people are actually asking themselves questions. And that's why if you look at overseas, Europe, America, there's this great resignation, vibe going on there. People are starting to ask questions, you see. And I do believe it's also trickling down here as well. People are starting to ask questions, and I hope you are one of them. So one reason why people cannot, earn extra income for themselves is that we are too comfortable with our prestigious jobs. I have heard of a story of a man who actually works for a prestigious place, but every morning he wakes up and goes to Soweto market to sell chickens. So he rears chickens, and every morning he wakes up and goes to sell those chickens. By 8 o'clock, is well dressed up in a suit and is sitting in his office. Okay? This is a man that works at a prestigious place. So why is it that Few of us are able to do that. The second reason why we find it so difficult to, think about making extra income is worrying about what people will think. Can you imagine this gentleman who sells chickens in Soweto, and then this one day, some director somewhere finds him at Soweto market selling these chickens? You see, many people are not able to withstand that pressure of being seen, doing what is considered as a substandard or, not so prestigious work, right? So we are afraid of what people are going to think about. What if people find me selling fritters? What if people find me braiding hair? What if people find me selling chickens and I'm supposed to be a director at Inside Partners Africa, right? And I'm here braiding hair, and I'm here selling fritters or distributing food at offices or selling clothes, What are people going to think about me? I am this, I'm supposed to be CEO and director of Inside Partners, or I'm supposed to be manager credit at some financial institution, and do I have to lower myself down to the level where I'm selling chickens? Do you know what? A lot of people are afraid of what people will think about them. And so I would rather make as little money as I can and still keep pretending that everything is okay, right? But meanwhile, I need the money, and an extra job or an extra skill or anything extra can help me relieve that pressure from money. But we are so afraid to do that because we are thinking of what people are going to think about me, right? My dear, if people have got things to think all the time, and if you are going to come out of your financial pressure or stress, you need to start developing healthy, thinking around your finances. Think about ways to earn your income without worrying about what people are going to think about you, because you know your situation, right? And you are going to come out of these financial difficulties, and those people that are actually laughing at you or thinking that you are crazy are going to remain stuck where they are, right? So for the third reason why people find it hard to earn extra income, especially for those that have been employed, I've got a few savings, there's some money in the bank, and they are afraid to lose the money, okay? So they are thinking, what if I use this money that I took so many years to save and invest it in rearing these chickens, and then the chickens die? What am I going to do? I lose that money. I can't bear the risk. Okay? And, sometimes before I actually consider the details of this, sometimes I ask myself the question like, do you know that your job is also not safe actually, right? Do you know that that full-time job that you have is not safe anymore? You see, the world is changing at a very fast rate. There are so many developments that are coming up. There's artificial intelligence, we've got robotics, we've got so many things that eventually are actually even going to take up that job that you're fearing losing. When you think about being employed full-time and you feel like you're safe, you need to reconsider. And that is why you should not be afraid to take that money that you've saved to start investing in extra money-making, ventures. Because think about this also in another way. How many times do you go out and spend money on things that you didn't even plan to spend money on? I have done that a lot of times. You can spend huge amounts of money and you're spending it in small quantities, right? But when you add up all these small amounts, at the end of the month, at the end of the day, you find that you could have actually started that chicken rearing business. So the risk that you are fearing of, I'm afraid to lose the money, you're actually losing that money in other ways. And by the way, if you're keeping the money in the bank, it's actually losing value through inflation. You're not even doing anything, but the money is actually losing its value through inflation. I won't even add the bank charges, just inflation. So how should you go about this fear of losing your savings? What I would encourage you to do is to start your business, your side hustle. a little. So you need to test out your side hustle. So start investing in that side business little by little and see how it's growing. Is your business, your side business, able to attract a customer or 2 or 3? And then the more you invest in that side hustle business, if you're able to see money coming through, you're making profits and you're growing your clientele, you then are able to know if that business idea is a brilliant business idea for you. And then you start spending much more money. Remember, it's an investment that you're making. We expect you to make a return. So start bit by bit. And if you fail, you're going to fail at a lesser cost than investing all your money into this business venture or side hustle, at once. And so rather than being afraid to even get started, I would encourage you to get started. If you've tested your idea, it's not doing well, customers are not coming through, think about another business idea quickly. You see, keep testing out in small quantities. The idea that is going to be profitable is the idea that you should now stick on and ensure that it starts growing. And that is how businesses actually even start. If you're in full-time employment, many people start side businesses while they are working. And I'm pretty sure you know a number of people that are doing that, but then just don't have the time to focus full-time on this job. So start bit by bit, right? Investing in this side hustle. All right. So that's what I would encourage those that fear losing their savings to, a side business. You are fearing investing in this side business, but at the same time, you're actually wasting money through unplanned, unnecessary expenditure that you could have saved and invested in that side hustle. Which brings me to the fourth, that is a little bit related to the third point. So there are others that say, I don't have enough money to even invest in this side hustle. Again, I would ask you to rethink your expenditure. Go through how you spend that little money that you make right now. You are going to discover that there are expenses that are really unnecessary. So cut off those unnecessary expenditures, start saving for that side hustle. Because when you do that, you're actually, creating an extra source of income, while at the same time, you are also managing your expenditure wisely and hoping that in a few months, in a few years' time, that extra source of income is going to be making much more money for you, and that is going to help you, to start being financially independent or coming out of your financial pressures, because you are now earning, extra income from another source. So you might think that I don't have enough money, and I do agree with you, money is tight, but I believe there are always areas we spend money on. Talk time. Do you know that even so-called poor people actually have airtime all the time? So think about that 5 kwacha talk time that you always have, and think about saving that for a side gig. And then talk time, there's hair. If it's the ladies, a woman would complain about, I don't have money, but their hair is looking beautiful, right? There's nails nowadays. There's a lot of other ways that money can be spent. For the guys, maybe it's the alcohol, the side chicks, and I don't know what else. So think about how you are wasting money and save that money for that side gig. So you might be thinking, I don't have money, but in fact there are areas you are spending money that can help you start that side business. The final point, I think it's number 5, right? So, and this is specifically for the women. You see, making extra money for a woman, women worry too much about relationships and finding a mate and all of these worries. And unfortunately, for the women that are referred to as intelligent and make money, it becomes a little bit harder for them to find a mate, apparently, because men apparently are afraid of women that are financially independent or that make more money. So for a number of women, making money is like they are afraid their husband, is going to feel not money enough because I make more money than him. Or if you're not married, you're like, I will never find a man to marry me because I'm able to afford whatever if I make more money. So for women specifically, making extra money becomes an issue because of the main folk, like, yeah, I might not get married because, but then again, think about this in a lighter way. First of all, if a man is afraid to date you because you are making more money than him, then my dear, you are seeing a wrong person, eh? Then let's think about women that, a married woman, for example, you need to think about making extra money, because what happens if your husband unfortunately passes away and you don't know how to make money? Right now, it might sound romantic for you to, to make lesser money than your husband or your man. But think about what happens when that husband of yours dies and suddenly you have the financial responsibility for your family, for your children, or even for yourself. How are you going to take care of that family? And so I think it is extremely critical for women to actually think about extra sources of income and not worry about, beating their men in terms of how much money I make. One thing that many people that think that if a woman is making or earning more money than a man, then, I can't date her or whatever, is what they don't realize is women, and I've said this before, most of the times, a woman making extra money goes to the benefit of the entire family, including you, the man yourself. So having a woman that has the capacity to earn extra income, even more than you, is actually a blessing, because it will help you as well reduce on your financial stress. So when it comes to thinking about finances in a family, think about it as a couple rather than as my wife, my lady makes more money than me, and so, I don't feel man enough. I don't think every man is like that, but there are a few that I've seen, a few comments that I've seen men push across to say, if a woman makes more money than me, then la 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 la. I'm like, okay, continue suffering, because a wise man is going to find a wise woman and they're going to build a stronger family together. Well guys, this is all I had to share in today's video. If you love what I do, don't you forget to smash the like button and also subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button. It's up here. Click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.